Yeah, I'm applauding right now. That is what Finding Carter should have been all season. Hey guys, it's Kevin in the Spring for the mid-season finale of Finding Carter, Season 2, Episode 12, I'm Not the Only One. This is what Finding Carter needed to be all season. It really did, honestly. This episode was great. It really was. By far best episode of the season, really. I'll talk about why. This episode was the most focused. It was the most interesting. It didn't have anything stupid. There was nothing filler about this episode. Okay, there might have been a few scenes here and there. My only thing in this episode was that it was a bit convoluted. It wasn't an amazing finale, which is understandable because this season has been genuinely horrible. This season has not been very good at all. But this episode was great. I mean, when you stick to this main story, this is why I watch this show. I mean, I've been questioning for weeks, why do I still watch Finding Carter? Episodes like this is why I watch Finding Carter. Really, this is why. Let's get to this episode because it was great. It really was. And I have a lot of praise to say about this episode. I really only have one complaint, but it's very small. So let's get to it because mainly I have a lot of positive things to say. So this episode mainly built around Laurie's trial and the setup to Laurie's trial, and I thought they did a really good job setting up to that. Definitely, I thought it was really good, because you're not actually sure if Laurie's trial is going to happen. I thought they did a really good job setting it up, especially the scene where we find out that Laurie can actually get a plea bargain and just take it, and, Carter wanted her to take it so she wouldn't have to face this trial. And I thought that was really good. One of the things I've actually really enjoyed this season, that Carter's still trying to be like a friend to Laurie, even though she'll never really trust her again, and they'll never have that same kind of relationship. She'll always sort of trust Laurie, which I thought was really good, that Carter, still let Laurie do that for her. I thought that was very well done, I have to say. So, she's telling her to take the plea bargain and everything, and basically just, I thought that was definitely a very well done scene. I was wondering if, Laurie was actually going to take it, but Laurie doesn't want to do it. She wants to go through this trial, and the build-up to the trial, I thought was actually very well done. I really did like that. I mean, you can see that Carter really doesn't want to have to go through this again, and there are a lot of things that they talk about. I mean, she tells Grant that there's a lot of things he's going to hear in the trial, and that scene with Carter and Grant where he basically tells her that, they're not really sure how things are going to go. I thought that was definitely very well done, I have to say. I thought they did a really good job with that. And, Carter even is wondering, if this was all just a big plan by Laurie to start with. Elizabeth and David say they're going to take this to the DA and figure out what Laurie's really up to. Because they weren't sure, why would she just want this trial? I mean, she's in a mental institution. Why would she want this? They thought there was something more going on there. And I thought that was really good. And, they tell Elizabeth that they're going to bring up the affair. They're going to rake David out. But they know all this stuff already. They've been through it, and they know what they're going to hear about. So I thought that was definitely really good. So, and Laurie tells Carter that once they understand that she's Carter's mother, they'll just let her go. And Carter says that Elizabeth's her mother, and Laurie says that's up to the jury. And Carter, says that she's insane, but Laurie says this trial will change everything. Carter says she will never agree to custody with her, and tells Laurie that she won't get away with it. And Laurie says, we'll see. And I thought that was just a really well done scene, because you're not really sure if Laurie is going to get away with this. And Grant chats with Carter. He asks her if she's nervous about trial. And she warns him that he's going to hear bad stuff and everything, but he tells her he can offer tips as captain of his mock trial team. And I thought that was really good. And he tells her to say what they want her to say, but in her own words. He says if it sounds rehearsed, the jury won't listen or believe her. And he says he didn't learn at mock trial, but on The Good Wife. I thought that was kind of funny that he just learned it from a courtroom show. And honestly, this episode did have some really funny lines. They actually gave Grant something to do. And it wasn't just background. I thought that was really good as well. And just the way they handled it all, I thought was definitely really good, I have to say. So, and David and Elizabeth had this great conversation where he asks her how she's doing, and she says she's okay, and she says the kids are amazing with how they're handling all this, and she says she's more worried about it than the kids are. And, she's really worried about how the two of them are going to look at the trial, and because she doesn't want them to take Carter away from her, obviously. And honestly, that is a legitimate fear that she should have. I honestly like that she was worried about that, because the odds might not be in their favor. Laurie could turn around and she could end up getting full custody of Carter if she makes Elizabeth and David look bad. And that I thought was a really well done scene. This episode was actually really intelligent, and I thought they did a really good job. And I'm wow, that's actually really good writing. And some of the best writing, by the way, they've had in episodes, really. And David says the kids are lucky to have her. Then as how when collecting, and, they talk about Kyle and everything. We'll get to that plot. But basically, the trial happens, and the way they handled it, I thought, was really well done. My favorite scene, though, of the trial had to be when they eventually questioned Carter. That was very well done, because they asked Carter, is Lori like a mother to her? And I like what Carter said, that yes, Lori was like a mother, but, that she can't justify, that doesn't justify what she did. Elizabeth is her mother and will always be her true mother, because that's who she trusts, and that's who, didn't keep her hostage and everything. That's why she sees Elizabeth more of her mother than Lori, and I thought that was actually a very well done scene. And before the trial, Carter has this talk with this guy, Benjamin Wallace. Basically, he is this 16-year-old kid who had just come out of nowhere. We don't really know why he's there, but he's there to basically defend Lori, and I like what he told Carter, that he knows what she's dealing with. He's had to go through this for years, and he tells her that she'll be okay and everything, and I thought that was a really well-done scene. I like their bonding. I definitely really enjoyed that, I have to say. They did a really good job with building up to that scene. So, basically, you're not really sure how this trial is going to go, and I like that it wasn't predictable, really. It really wasn't predictable what was going to happen there. We see that, basically, Carter, we really don't know how this whole scene's going to go, and as the trial goes on, they basically take a break, and then they have Benjamin come forward, and that's when we get the huge reveal that he is Lori's son, but his father is David. And I will say, when he was talking, I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming before that. And they said that the final 2 minutes is going to change the entire show, and really, that was absolutely huge. Because now they have to deal with David having Benjamin, who he probably didn't even know he had. Honestly, you can't blame Dave for this. I hope Elizabeth doesn't blame David for this, because honestly, he did not know that Benjamin was his son. He had no point knowing that, and that wasn't, he didn't know anything about this. So, if David says, I had nothing to do with this, if David said I didn't even know about this, I can completely understand, because he didn't know about, Benjamin before. He didn't even know that he was related to this kid, and just knowing this information, I think, was actually a very well done scene. I thought that was a really good twist, especially what they could have given us. They could have given us something really cheap and that we already know that would have been really dumb. Like, I thought this episode was going to end with Lori taking Carter and basically kidnapping her. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I was really happy that they didn't do that. That would have been the really cheap way to do this. The way the season was going, that's what it seemed like they were going to do. That's not what they do at all, though. What they did was a lot better and a lot more shocking, I thought. That was actually very well done, and I really liked the way they handled it, I have to say. I thought they did a really good job with this scene. They really did. I really loved that, honestly. That really was one of the best parts of the episode. And as I said, that's one of the reasons why this is the best episode of the season. Another reason, the stuff they gave with Taylor and Max was perfect. No bullshit with him and Carter, and I was happy with that. This is what should have happened with Taylor and Max all season. The reason I love them as a couple is because of this episode, because we see how playful they are in this episode, how fun they are. He even tries to he even tries to get Taylor to move in with him, and they get this really sweet scene with them just playfully being back. They're basically back together as a couple. And I like they're really not putting labels on anything. They're just together, and they didn't really want to say, are they together, are they not? I thought that was actually a very well done scene, and I overall really enjoyed that, I have to say. I thought they did a really good job with showing that, really. I thought that their scene really was perfect, just them talking and everything. It was how they should have been all season. Just their playfulness is what I loved about last season. It's one of the things I thought was really well done, I have to say. I thought they did a great job with that. So I hope they keep this Taylor and Max. Please, no more drama with them. One of the dumbest things they have done this season is the Taylor and Max drama. We didn't need it. It wasn't necessary. This is what Taylor and Max need to be. We don't need to have all this filler drama. What we had this episode, this is what I want every episode. I don't want just Taylor and Max drama. That's not what I want. I want something like what we got this episode. That was really well done. And my only complaint with this episode would have to be the subplots. Okay, Gabe's I thought was actually really well done. Him holding in, him grieving and everything about Kyle. Yeah, I thought the death was really necessary, but the payoff was actually really good. Seeing Elizabeth by herself as a cop, that must be really hard for her to do. She doesn't have her partner with her, and she's all alone. It's actually really sad to see. And David questioned her, and I thought that was really good. But I thought the thing they handled best was Gabe's reaction, because Gabe really doesn't have much of one. In fact, he's acting like his normal self. It really shows how when someone dies, not everyone has the reaction just crying immediately. A lot of people just hold it in and don't really show their reaction. In fact, there's a great scene where Elizabeth is very worried about Gabe, and he says, "You don't have to be worried about me. There's nothing going on." He's really holding back all the emotion he has, and I really thought that was really well done, I have to say. I really like the scene where he's trying to move on with his life, talking to Damon. This was the first episode where I actually really liked Damon as a character. I thought that was actually really good. Their friendship I thought was really well done. I like that everyone's trying to help out Gabe. Really good stuff, definitely, especially with all the Carter stuff. I really didn't think they were going to focus on it, but they did a really good job of focusing on that. What I really thought was really unnecessary was the plot with Bird and Madison. I get that we want to start developing Bird more, but as I said, we need a Bird-centric episode. I don't want to see Bird's development without a Bird-centric episode. That's what I want. I want a Bird-centric episode. I want to see what's going on with Bird in her life. I want to see, why she's having these feelings with Madison. I like what's going on with her and Madison. I thought that was really well done. The scene with the threesome was a bit much, I will say that. I'm like, do we really need to talk about having a threesome here? The show is better than that. I thought that was kind of dumb that they did that. But besides that, I thought it was really solid with her and her parents and everything. But we already know that her parents are, really overbearing. I didn't really need to see that in this episode. I really didn't. I thought it was kind of dumb that we saw that, really. I'm like, did we need to see this? I want to get back to the stuff I actually care about. Gabe's plot, while it was really good, I didn't feel like they spent enough time on it. They definitely could have spent more time on it, and again, it's understandable why. There really wasn't a lot going on this season that really they could have spent time on in this episode. I mean, the whole plot with Carter and Max is done, which is really happy. They really got rid of all the shitty stuff in this episode, which I thought was really well done. I mean, Carter and Max affair bullshit, that's over with. Carter and Crash, that's over with. Everything that was bad this season wasn't in this episode, and that was awesome. I have to say, the Lori stuff I thought was really well done. Even though there were some plot holes, like, why would Carter go into a mental institution without, parental approval? But you can expect that David and Elizabeth told her to go in there and basically try to convince Lori. I could see them doing that, definitely. So, overall, guys, I was really impressed with this episode, I have to say. After the really bad episodes we've had all season, this is what the show needs to be. I know this was a shorter review, but there really wasn't much else to say about this episode. I can't wait for the next half of the season, really. I wasn't going to continue, but that is an awesome twist, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be reviewing the show like I used to. I'm not just going to be talking about what happened in the episode. I will review the entire episode. I'll do a full recap and everything. I'll talk about what I love about the episode. The reason I stopped doing this is because I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care about the show, and here I actually really cared about it, definitely. I thought it was actually very well done. And I thought everything in this episode was actually really good. The acting was really good here. The screenplay is some of the best it's been in episodes, definitely. Just the writing was so sharp in this episode, and I loved it. There wasn't one really dull moment. There was no point where I'm like, this is stupid, I don't care. I cared about everything going on in this episode. I really did. And that's been a huge problem all season, is just... And something I think that really is happening now is that the writers are now realizing why we love this show, just like they did in Awkward. I feel like now they're going to finally wake up and see what the problem was. All this filler bullshit, all these plots we don't care about, it's over with. I really hope now they're going to focus on, Benjamin being David's son, how they're going to deal with that. That's actually going to be a very interesting plot. I'm very interested in seeing how they delve in that. That's going to be very interesting. Seeing Carter and Taylor's reactions to things are going to be really cool as well. I can't wait to see how that is. How they're going to deal with that. Taylor and Max, I just want them to keep them how they were in this episode. Keep them this way. Don't give them this really stupid relationship drama. I'll really like that. I feel like now this is what they need to be. Really, how they were this episode. Keep it like that. That's awesome. Gabe, I really like Gabe's plot as well. I think they can really make Gabe a much more interesting character. The reason Gabe I didn't really care much is because they didn't touch upon it enough, honestly. There was a lot of missed potential this season. They tried to develop Gabe more with Kyle. Now that Kyle's not there, I feel like they can give Gabe a lot more to do, and I really like that they're starting to give him more to do in this episode, honestly. He honestly can become a very interesting character now that Kyle has died. Seeing Damon... I think Damon can really help him out. I thought Damon was a really good character. Bird as well. I like that they're trying to develop Bird more. They're definitely trying to develop side characters more, and that's really well done. It doesn't feel forced either. It just feels like, okay, now we need to develop these characters. and it doesn't really feel forced. It just feels like now's the time, honestly. Now that Kyle's dead, let's develop Gabe more. Now's the time to develop him more. See what's going on with him, why he's not reacting much to this. It's actually really good writing, really sharp stuff, guys, that I'm actually really enjoying. And I'm really impressed as well that they're actually taking the time to develop him after all the bullshit we've been through. It's awesome that they're really doing that. And Elizabeth as well, seeing her without Kyle, I thought was definitely very well done. And also, what is going to happen with this trial? Obviously, I think Lori pretty much won. I really hope this does not end with her taking Carter, though. If they do that again, I'm going to be really pissed off, because it would have been really dumb if they did that. But I was surprised by how good this finale really was. I overall really enjoyed it. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. While it's really good now, please don't fuck it up with stupid relationship drama. Hopefully now they know the show, they know what makes the show good, and I hope that's true, because I really loved this episode. I did. I thought this was an amazing episode. Perfect way to close the first half of the season, and I'm definitely looking forward to the second half. So, let me know what you guys saw this episode. And again, guys, I didn't hate the season by any means. I really didn't. I thought this was a great episode. I really did. And I didn't hate the season. I just felt like it could have been a lot better. I hated last week's episode. I really hated it. I hated episode 4. I didn't hate the episodes in between. I just felt like there was a lot of missed potential there. And now I know why I really love this show. No, this does not make me like put the show in my top 10 or anything. This wasn't a absolutely amazing finale, but it was a great finale. Definitely, if I had to rate it, B+ by far. Best episode of the season. I absolutely loved it. It was a fantastic episode, and I thought it was amazingly well done. Really, it was. It was a very well done finale than what we've had so far this season. So, that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed my Finding Carter rants reviews for this season. I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie review, and I will see, actually no, it'll be for my review, probably the series premiere of Proof or the series premiere of Clip, because I'm going to try out both of those shows. If I don't like them, I won't review them. It's that simple. If I don't review them, it's because I didn't like them. That's really is what it is. So, I might not review either of them. If not, it'll be for a classic movie review. We'll see what it is, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.